Born in Cavite, Catarina Ruiz was the daughter of a Spanish general and a diwata. Rejected by her father, she and her mother moved to Manila where she eventually became a poet and singer, using her songs and enchanting voice to beguile her audiences. After her mother died, Ruiz became an assistant of artist Lorenzo Guerrero and met the young Juan Luna in 1875. Falling in love with the artist, she traveled with him to Europe in 1877, where it was rumored that she became the model for Luna's prize-winning painting, The Death of Cleopatra. After Luna killed his wife in 1892, it was said that Ruiz used her supernatural charm to enable the artist's acquittal. She supposedly aided him again in 1897, after Luna was imprisoned in Fort Santiago under the accusation of being part of the Katipunan. She finally professed her love to Luna, but was rejected. Her final words to him were, "Your heart will break far more than mine." In 1899, Luna died in Hong Kong from a heart attack. Ruiz has not been seen since. Anituntau was born in 1553 and was the son of a blacksmith and the lesser goddess of wind and rain, Anituntau. There was a time when Anituntau enjoyed her position as one of the superior deities of the Sambal pantheon, but her haughtiness caused her to be demoted. In protest, she exiled herself to the Visayas and there, driven by spite, had a child with an elderly blacksmith. She hated the child, and before she returned to Zambales, she commanded the blacksmith to kill it. The blacksmith instead decided to raise the child on his own, naming him Anituntau. Anituntau grew up in the Spanish settlement in Cebu, founded by Miguel Lopez de Legazpi. He was asog, exhibiting fine female qualities, and everyone thought he would become babaylan. But as the son of a blacksmith and a weather goddess, Anituntau demonstrated exceptional skill in blacksmithing, as well as being able to use subtle magics to decorate weapons with exquisite filigrees. The Spanish authorities would send some of his decorated creations back to their families in Spain. However, more than anything, Anituntau yearned for the acknowledgement and approval of his mother. Every night he would pray to a figurine of Anituntau which he made when he was a child. His mother, however, never gave him notice. When Anituntau was 16, one of the Spaniards, the soldier Martin de Goiti, secretly fancied the beautiful blacksmith and eventually wooed him. Theirs became an affair only entertained and consummated in the forest at night, far from eyes and ears. During one of their private sojourns, de Goiti revealed to Anituntau that he would be sent to Manila to negotiate with the locals towards the establishment of a Spanish fort in the area. Anituntau was worried that harm might befall his lover. So using his magic, he shaped an enchanted sigil from the earth's metals and embedded it onto de Goiti's chest. With this, he said, "Your spirit will be one with your armor and your weapons. You will be a warrior that only a god can defeat." "How can I repay you?" de Goiti asked. "My only request," Anituntau said, "is that after each of your victories, you shall exalt the name of my mother Anituntau. Let everyone know of her glory, and let her know about me." De Goiti and his soldiers left Cebu for Manila in May 1570. Over the next 3 years, Anituntau patiently waited. When he learned that de Goiti triumphed over Raja Sulaiman in the Battle of Manila, he prayed to Anituntau, telling his mother about the exaltation of her name, but there was no answer. Months later, upon hearing that de Goiti succeeded in his campaigns in Pampanga and Pangasinan, Anituntau prayed to his mother again, convinced that his lover fulfilled his request. There was no answer still. And when he found out that de Goiti was awarded an hacienda and would not return, the young blacksmith was devastated. He fled the settlement and was said to have gone insane. In 1574, de Goiti was killed in Manila during the invasion of 3,000 Chinese pirates led by Limahong. Everyone agreed that the soldier died by enemy hands, but this was not exactly true. For during the intense battle, the metal sigil that was on his chest had begun to melt, seeping into his skin and veins, and blocking the flow of life-giving blood to his heart. It was the kind of death that could only have been brought about by the jilted son of a goddess. The Pugot is a playful human-like creature from Ilocos that can detach its head from its neck where its mouth resides. Also known as numputol, it feeds on small animals and insects, thus posing no real threat to anyone. However, unlike other humanoid beings who would remove themselves from their lonesome existence and participate in the development of civilization, the Pugot seems to content itself with being a mere prankster, and one would wonder about its useful place in the ecosystem. It is imaginable still that some Pugot might desire more from life. In the year 1810, deep in the forests of Ilocos, one Pugot was so overcome with boredom that it decided to travel, as this is what boredom makes us do, allowing itself to be taken wherever Bathala decided. It had spent most of its life in deadening routine, and its preoccupation with startling passers-by had become dull and dreary. Over the following years, traveling by boat and foot, it found itself riding elephants in the kingdom of Siam, watching Farasi Bahari races in Galajungcha, reaching the crystal-white peaks of Nepal, learning astronomy and geometry in the Balkans, and witnessing the defeat of Napoleon in Leipzig. In 1817, after experiencing what many of the adventurous sort would envy, it found itself in Birmingham, England, and it was there, while walking across the vast countryside, where it felt depleted in spirit. What else was there to do? One moonlit evening, while resting on a sturdy branch of a maple tree and absent-mindedly nibbling on a squirrel, the Pugot noticed the flicker of a lantern approaching. It was a man on horseback about to pass by. In desperate need of amusement, it leapt off the branch as it tore off its head, intending to land menacingly in front of the man's horse. However, its legs had grown wobbly from travel, and it instead struck and tumbled upon the ground with an unflattering thud. "Good heavens," the man exclaimed, "you've given me quite a fright." The Pugot mumbled as it stood, "This is the moment when you are supposed to scream, flail your arms, and flee." The man laughed. "Believe me, whatever it is you are, in the world of men there are things that are far more frightening. Are you well?" With a sigh, the Pugot placed its head gently on a shrub as it rubbed its knees. "I shall be, given time. If you've a moment to spare, would you mind a chat? I have been everywhere but haven't had a soul to talk to. You will not eat me, will you?" "I have tried human flesh," the Pugot assured, "but the taste was so horrible that I'd rather eat cow dung." The man got down from his horse and, underneath the maple tree, spent the next hours chatting merrily with the Pugot. He introduced himself and said he was a writer who mostly did biographies and commentary, but had considered embarking on crafting fictional tales. "Bah," the Pugot spat. "What purpose do fictional tales serve if they do not tell the truth?" The man smirked. "An admirer of Plato, I see. Sometimes fiction can appear far more real than truth, and have been known to stand the test of time. We may not remember much from the 16th century, but we all know Shakespeare." The Pugot raised a brow. "Much ado about memory." "Don't you wish to be remembered?" the man asked. "What's there to remember? Me and my kind, we have no history. We have no accomplishment, no contribution. The tikbalang, the manananggal, even the bloody tiyanak, they all get the attention. But if there was a way to be remembered even in some whimsical manner, then who am I to object?" They continued their exchange until the full moon reached its peak in the sky. The man excused himself, thanking the Pugot for a delightful conversation. The Pugot decided that it was time for it to make the long journey home as well, and the man promised that he would send letters. Seeing how the Pugot had difficulty walking, the man offered his horse, and as the Pugot rode off, its head cradled on its lap, the man was deeply moved to inspiration. Months later, back in Ilocos, the Pugot woke up and saw a parcel at the foot of its tree home. It was from the man of Birmingham, and it contained a promised letter. It read, "In all my conversations with learned men, never have I been convinced to ponder upon my existence as much as I have after conversing with you. Enclosed herewith is a draft of one of my stories, and I wish to thank you for giving me the impetus to finish it. It would be my honor for you to read it before its publication, and it is my hope that I have depicted you in a manner that suits you and is worth remembering. Respectfully, Washington Irving." The Pugot smiled. Perhaps everything it had experienced in all its travels had one purpose. It whispered gratitudes to the man for his engagement, and asked Bathala to bless his generous soul. Leaning snugly against the branches and nibbling on a lizard, the Pugot eagerly began to read the first passages of the man's story, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, not knowing that the world and its future generations would be enthralled over and over by the stunning image of the Headless Horseman.